In this video, I'm going to be giving you the 27 ways to stay unhealthy. And the reason why I am thinking about it in that way is because I watched a video a while back that almost changed my life, or the way that I like to think about forming new habits or goals. And the reason behind that is the human brain likes to think about problems way more than it likes to think about solutions. And so as opposed to thinking of like, what are the habits or what are the goals that I want to achieve, it's more easy for our brain to identify what are the things that we probably shouldn't be doing. And then all you have to do is just flip that in reverse to get to where you want to go. Instead of thinking about like, what do I do to build the perfect relationship? You can think about like, what are the things that would absolutely destroy my relationship? You can probably think of a lot more things, and then you just don't do those things. And by default, you'll get to at least a pretty decent relationship and somewhere a lot closer to the perfect relationship that you're hoping for. Aside from the relationship part, that's a whole nother topic. This is going to be the 27 ways to stay unhealthy. And then stay tuned for the very end, because we're going to be going down the whole list, flip it on its head, and make it the 27 things that you can do to be healthy. So starting off, number one, the best way to stay unhealthy is to not change at all. And so the human body is simply just action reaction. And so if we want to think about how to be unhealthy, we just do the actions that are unhealthy, which is what you're doing if you're watching this in the first place. And so don't change that at all. And that's a perfect way to stay unhealthy, right? Number two, expect health to come to you. And so we all like to have these goals and ambitions. I don't think any human is unique for having, health goals, but we all kind of expect it to come to us. Like, oh, I'll be healthy one day. Yeah, it'll be cool. Once this is, I'll be healthy. And so you should totally expect it to just kind of knock on your door and say, hey, you're healthy now. That's a great way to stay unhealthy. Number three, avoiding discomfort. Like I mentioned before, action, reaction, that is the human body. If you are doing certain things that are making you unhealthy, obviously, if you want to be healthy, you're gonna have to change some things, and it's gonna be uncomfortable. The best way to stay unhealthy is to simply just avoid that feeling. Don't feel uncomfortable whatsoever in this world, and you're gonna stay exactly where you're at and get worse. Awesome. Number four, value the opinions of others more so than your own. We all have these kind of notions that, I'm just kind of scared to start what I want to do because somebody's going to tell me to tell them to kick rocks. And it's always like, well, yeah, I know I should listen to myself, but it's like, no buts. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to make happen in order to achieve the things that you wanted to achieve. You know you need to not listen to anyone that's not aligned with those goals. Number five, don't set a clear goal. It's an awesome way to stay unhealthy. Just being like, yeah, I want to be healthy. Perfect. That's it. That's a perfect way to stay unhealthy. You're not unique for wanting to be healthy. You're unique in doing the things that is required to be healthy. So not setting that clear goal, it's a great way to stay unhealthy. And another extension of that for number six is to set a goal, but not a plan. It's like, I want to be healthy in 6 months. That's a goal. There's no plan to get there. And so it's like, what are you gonna do? You're not unique for having that goal. You need to come up with a plan, at least your best guess, to get to where you want to go. And so a goal without a plan is just a dream. A goal with a plan is a means of success, and it's at least gonna get you a hell of a lot closer than not making the plan. Plans are gonna go wrong. You're gonna have to readjust, you're gonna have to re-aim. No one person that is successful in any realm has had things go exactly according to plan, ever. They always go wrong, and so you might as well get the wrong part of the plan out of the way as early as possible, mess up, make the mistakes, and then re-aim. Number seven, make those promises, break those promises. We like to kind of tell ourselves like, oh, I'm gonna do it. Like, yeah, this is the day. And then we just break our promises. And what's worse about that is that our body becomes accustomed to breaking those promises. And think about a friend. If a friend makes a promise to you, hey, I'm gonna meet you at this time, or I'm gonna help you with this, and they don't do it, we're pretty pissed off. We might forgive them a few times, but after a while, doing that like 5 times, we do not trust that person, and we are not going to be friends with that person. And so you're not even being a friend to yourself. You make all these promises to yourself and you constantly break them. And so what you're doing is conditioning your brain to not even trust yourself. And so do you really want to live in a body that doesn't even trust its own self? Probably not. Make the promises and stick to them, and recognize that they will be uncomfortable. But of course, this is a way to be unhealthy. So keep breaking those promises and you will be unhealthy. Number 8, wait for the perfect conditions. There is at no point going to be perfect conditions, and I think it is better to do things under the worst possible conditions. Because if you can do it under the worst conditions, you can do it in any condition. And at some point in life, even if you find the perfect condition to start, that's gonna go away very, very quickly. And so you might as well work on it while conditions are bad, so that way you can always do it under any circumstances. But if you want to be unhealthy, wait for those perfect conditions. They're gonna come, totally. Number 9, avoid doing what matters most. I see all these people worrying about grounding and the sunlight in their eyes, and they're not even moving or dieting. And so that is one of the best ways to stay unhealthy. It's like, totally, dude. Like, let's focus on that little tiny last 1% that might be things that can help us. But we're just going to completely ignore the 99% of the things that are going to make us healthy. Let's totally walk outside on cold grass, and that's going to totally get us healthy, right? But I don't need to move or eat. So that's cool. That's a great way to stay unhealthy. Not saying they don't help, but it's that little last 1%. So totally focus on that 1% and ignore the 99%. That's a great way to stay unhealthy. Number 10, say you're gonna do something and then don't do it. Very similar to making promises and breaking promises. Everybody likes to talk. Everybody likes to say they're gonna do stuff. And when you don't do it, you're telling yourself that you can't even trust yourself. And you're basically telling other people that they can't trust you. And if people can't trust you to do the things that you know you should be doing, then that's an awesome way to essentially start hating yourself. So, in any realm, this is not even just about health, that's a life thing. If you say things that you're gonna do and you don't do it, no one's gonna trust you, most of all yourself, because at least to other people, you might be able to hide it, but you can never hide it to yourself. So that's a great way to stay unhealthy in any realm or unsuccessful. Number 11, listen to unhealthy people about how to be healthy. And so maybe this is like a social media thing, maybe this is like a body acceptance thing, but a lot of people are literally ignoring their own eyes and the things that are tangible evidence of why we shouldn't listen to them, and we still do. Crazy to think about. It's like, I'm gonna listen to an overweight person about how to be skinny, and it's like, why? What are we doing? At least have some sort of like rapport there. Prove to yourself that that you can do it, and then maybe I'll listen. But of course, listen to the people that aren't where you want to be, and that's going to be a great way to go in the wrong direction of where you want to be. So be unhealthy that way. Number 12, do your best, not what it takes. So we all kind of have our idea of like doing your best, participation trophy, that kind of thing. It's a great way to stay unhealthy and not get to where you need to go, because the truth of the matter is the body does not care about what your best is. It does not. Action, reaction. It cares about the things that is required to be healthy, and if you don't do them, then no consequence will come out of that. No positive or negative. It's just the action and the reaction to it. You reap what you sow. And so it doesn't care. That's like, well, I tried my best. Doesn't matter. Number 13, talk more, do less. Pretty self-explanatory. Everybody, especially social media, like to talk about things and not do them. It's all a facade. Don't talk about them, just do them. But if you want to just talk about it, that's a great way to talk about how you're always going to want to be healthy and talk about being healthy while not actually being it. So keep talking about it and you'll keep dreaming about it, but never get there. Number 14, believe what other people think about you, not what you think about you. And so humans like to group other humans. That's kind of the way the human brain works. It makes us help process a large different variety in a very fast manner. You know, this is green. Obviously, there's so many different things, or like that's a tree. That's a grouping of things. The human brain just likes to do that. It makes it process a lot quicker. Number 15, repeat mistakes. So the definition of insanity is doing the same thing and expecting a different outcome. And so if you're doing things right now that are not making you healthier, and then you keep doing them, that's kind of insane. So keep doing that, keep becoming insane, and that's a great way to stay unhealthy and drive yourself crazy. Number 16, find something that works and then stop doing it, which might be even worse than repeating mistakes. It's like you got through all the mistakes and finally you found something that works, and then you just stop doing it and do the exact thing where the mistakes were in the past, and it's like, why did you stop? It doesn't matter what other people think about you or what you're doing. If it works for you, it works for you. Just keep doing it. And then, of course, adjust the aim along the way. Number 17, find a coach that isn't aligned with your goals. And so if you are someone that is overweight and you're looking to get healthier, like skinnier, lose some weight, do not find a coach that is helping people gain weight that are on the skinnier end. It's simply just a matter of action, reaction. So if you're here and they are someone that goes in that direction, that's where their coach helps people go in this direction, the coach is gonna take you in this direction, not in the direction you wanna go to. So find a coach, and it doesn't have to be a coach, a mentor, anybody that is aligned with your goals. Keep them around you. You know, they say that you are the sum of the 5 people closest to you. Keep the people that are aligned with your goals, and by default, you'll just absorb through osmosis the things that you need to do that'll get you to your goals. But of course, this is a list about how to be unhealthy, so don't do that. Number 18, assume you are always right. Arrogance is the number one way to not get to where you want to go. Not listening to others, always thinking you're correct. That's a fantastic way, especially when you would totally be correct if you're not actually where you want to be. And so keep thinking you're correct at that, and you'll get there. Not really. Number 19, negative mindset. It's already very, very difficult to do these things. I understand it's difficult, especially mentally. Don't make it, or actually make it harder on yourself. Totally make it harder on yourself. Have a negative mindset around everything. The human brain loves negativity, loves it. So why don't you just keep being negative, and then it's gonna work really, really easy to actually become happy if you're negative all the time. Totally a great way to stay unhealthy. Number 20, complaining or acknowledging outside circumstances. I always find it interesting that people allow the outside circumstances, or like, it's raining so I can't do X, or it's this and I can't do that. Like, we literally have free will to control ourselves. Like, I can just do whatever I want right now, no matter the circumstances. And so, like, don't worry about the circumstances. They do not control you. Or worry about them and stay left behind. So keep letting those outside circumstances tell you what you need to do and literally control you like you're a puppet. And that's a great way to stay unhealthy. Number 21 is a very obvious one, but not starting. It's really obvious, and it's probably the number one killer of why people don't get healthy. It's because they just don't start. They're always talking about, I'm gonna start. The New Year's resolution, gonna start tomorrow. It's a perfect way to always keep delaying it. If you want to stay unhealthy, do it tomorrow. Always do it tomorrow. Number 22, don't build any habits whatsoever. So that's a fantastic way to, like, obviously most healthy people, they're all different, in the things that they do, but you can always break down that list into like some core principles of what they do. And so of course, if every healthy person does some sort of moving or some sort of eating right, definitely don't do that if you want to be unhealthy. Don't make those habits whatsoever. That's a fantastic way to stay unhealthy. Number 23, avoid doing things that you think would be healthy. And so it doesn't mean you have to be absolutely perfect, but you should totally avoid doing those things that you even think would remotely be healthy. So if you think that eating right is gonna get you healthy, do not do that whatsoever. Like, eat the junk food. That's gonna keep you unhealthy. If you think that moving would probably help you, don't move whatsoever. Which takes us to our next one, which is don't move. So don't move whatsoever. Most healthy people move. And so if you want to stay unhealthy, don't give yourself that fighting chance and just not move. Just sit on the couch all day long and don't move. And that's a perfect way to at least ensure that you have a fighting chance of being unhealthy. Number 25, want to be unhealthy. Just simply want it. Accept the fact that you're unhealthy. Stay there. Be cool with it. You're out of the race. You're out of the running. You're not even giving yourself a fighting chance. That is a perfect way to stay there. One of the best, actually, in my opinion. So definitely want to be unhealthy. You will get there. Number 26, do not envision a better life for yourself. And so definitely don't think about the best version of yourself that's like on the other end of the cosmos planet. That's like being the perfect you that you wish you could be. Don't think about that whatsoever. Do not think about that. That's not gonna help you be unhealthy. So definitely don't think about that best version of yourself, the one that's really happy, the one that can walk up the stairs and not be out of breath, the one that can do the things that they say they're gonna do and they don't break promises and they can trust themselves. Definitely don't think about that person. They're not gonna keep you unhealthy, so don't do that. And last but not least, put harmful substances into your body. And so obviously this doesn't mean just illegal substances. This is also things like sugars and extra junk food and things like that. Those are harmful substances to your body. And so if you want to stay unhealthy, put them into your body all the time. Just shovel them down. Don't even take a breath. Just keep doing that. And that's one of the best ways to stay unhealthy. That is the list of the 27 ways to stay unhealthy. And now we're going to flip them on its head and find the 27 ways to be healthy, which is number 1, to change. You know that you're doing something that's wrong. And if you want to get to where you want to go and change where you're at, you need to change the things you do. So change. Number 2, do not expect health to come to you. Go out and get it. Number 3, be comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so it is expected that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be something that is comfortable for you. Number 4, value your own opinion over the opinions of others, especially those that aren't aligned with your goals. Number 5, set a clear goal. And as an extension, set that clear goal and make a plan around it. So be as specific as possible. Really think about what that goal means for you, and then make the steps that you think would be right in order to get there. Number 7, make promises and keep them. Do not lie to yourself. Do not allow yourself to not even trust yourself. Number 8, do not wait for perfect conditions. Start, honestly, in any condition, and more favorably, the worst conditions, because if you can do it in the worst conditions, you can do it under any conditions. Number 9, do what matters most. Number 10, say you're gonna do something and do it. Prove to yourself that you are worthy and that you keep your word. Number 11, Listen to healthy people about how to be healthy. If you listen to unhealthy people, it's a 0% chance. You might as well give yourself at least a 10% chance. Give yourself a fighting chance. Listen to healthy people about how to be healthy. Do your best and what it takes. Number 13, talk less and do more. Keep your mouth shut, eyes and ears open, do the things that's required. 14, believe what you think about you, not what others think about you. If you believe that you are a person that can be healthy and strong and fit, be that person. Don't listen to others of what they subscribe to you. Number 15, do not repeat mistakes. Make mistakes. I like making mistakes. Knock them out early. Find what doesn't work, and that's honestly more important than what does work. 16, find something that works and stick to it. People don't want to say, this is what I should do. They want to know what you did and mimic that. Number 17, find someone, a coach or a mentor that is aligned with your goals. And number 18, learn. Do not assume you're always right. Always have an open mind. Number 19, have a positive mindset. Give yourself a fighting chance. Obviously, this whole thing is going to be difficult no matter what. And so if you have a negative mindset around it, you're just making it 10 times more difficult. Give yourself at least a fighting chance. Number 20, complaining or acknowledging outside circumstances. Don't do that. Simply just don't do that. You control you. Number 21, start. At least just start. And so it's like, that's the number one thing. Like literally just start. Number 22, build strong habits. You have to build the habits that get you to where you want to go. Just think about what the things you would want to do to be healthy, which was number 23. It's like, what would healthy people probably do? I'm just going to do those things, and at least you'll get closer to where you want to go. Number 24, want to be healthy. Do not want to be unhealthy. And don't be okay. It's okay to love yourself, but love yourself enough to change and love your body enough to give it what it actually needs and to move in the way that it's supposed to move. Do not be okay with being unhealthy. Be okay with wanting to change to be healthy. And where you're at is totally okay, so long as you're seeing that progress. Number 25, envision a better life for yourself. It's not about beating others, it's about beating yourself. Number 26, move. Give yourself a fighting shot. At least just get up and move. And one of the best, most inspirational things that I've ever seen is people that have it so much worse than us, that are in wheelchairs, paralyzed, or whatever the case might be, and they're still getting up and moving. It's like, shame on us for having all this able-bodiedness and just not doing the things that we know we should be doing. You have people that have it 10 times worse than us, and they're still getting it done. Dude, what are you doing then? Like, I just find it so inspirational that these people like have it so much worse and they still get it done and they have a positive mindset around it. Those are the most inspirational people ever. In fact, I always like people that have that underdog story a hell of a lot more than people that have that that spoon fed, you know what I'm saying? That golden spoon from the time that they were born. So if you're someone that thinks that, you know, I have it worse, that's the perfect opportunity to prove and become that story for others that they can find inspiration in. So move around, do something. And last but not least, don't put any harmful substances into your body. Don't lie to yourself. I'm not talking about just like illegal substances. Obviously, like if you are a diabetic and you put sugar into your body, it's probably not the best thing for you, especially if you're not taking your insulin and things like that. So don't lie to yourself. Don't try to cheat. Like your body doesn't care about what you think it is or trying to mask up the truth. Your body is just action reaction. And if you give it bad things will happen regardless of what you think or try to mask it. So be true to yourself. And so to wrap this up, that was the 27 things to be unhealthy, flipped on top of its head, to clearly state what are probably the things that will help us be healthy. So follow that last list that we just went through. And if you want to think about it in the way of like inversion thinking, I think it's really powerful because it at least clears away the path. And what happens is if you think about not ways to succeed, but ways to destroy it, what you'll find is that you just get to success by default because you avoid the pitfalls that most people get there. So those are the lists, and I'll catch you in the next one.